My name is Nicholas Isaiah King Rose, and I am here creating a new work for the Ohio Contemporary Ballet. The unique inspiration behind my latest work actually involves a really dark period of my life. This ballet is actually dedicated to two of my friends who passed away due to gun violence by their mother, and they tragically were killed in their sleep when one was 15 and one was 16 years old. I had been playing cello with both of them in orchestra since I was about 7 years old. The little sister was about 6, and then went to youth orchestra, and so that's how we met on Sundays. We went to different schools though. Leading up through that, I was actually sitting with Alex, the older brother, pretty much my entire time playing cello as a youth. So from 7 all the way up to middle school, and then all the way up to high school, up to when he passed. It's interesting because when Maggie first asked about the piece of music I want to use, she gave me 3 different options from Lakeside Symphony Orchestra, who commissioned this work. And one was, I believe, a Bach piece, another one was a Handel piece, the other one was Elgar. Honestly, Bach and Handel wasn't doing it for me at this time, but something with the Elgar really drew my attention to this score. I listened to it a few times, and the third time or second time I listened to it, I remember I broke down. I couldn't really understand why this music was making me cry so much. It is a beautiful music, but I had to do a little more digging. So I reached and I looked at the score and I was like, oh my God, I remember this score. It was one of the last pieces I played with Alex before he was murdered. Elgar was one of Alex's, if not his favorite composer, and he loved the Elgar cello concerto. That and the Bach suites, but he was die-hard over the Elgar cello concerto. So knowing that this is an Elgar piece, I just felt like he was very much so speaking to me, and I felt like the cosmos were informing me to do something. And to me, this is so healing. 10 years, they died. 10 years ago, they passed away. They were murdered. And so for their 10 years later, I just feel like, wow, this is so much, but just at the right time. It took about 10 years to be able to process this, and I'm still processing it. But making this ballet has been a gift. It's been a gift. I feel like it wasn't even me, but something was flowing through me. And so their spirit lives on. But the meaning Sehnsucht, this is like an inconsolable longing, an inconsolable sadness, a longing for something that you once had or you never have even experienced, but you're longing for something. Reading the score and choreographing to the score are 2 different things. If we were to adapt everything to how it was from the score, it would be really complicated actually. Dancers are not necessarily trained to read scores, and so we have to find our own musicality fitting with the phrasing that's also still respecting the score of the music. And so it's actually kind of having to count it in 2 different ways the whole time and make sure that everyone is where they're supposed to be. I think that was definitely an advantage, having a musical background for so many years before I even got into ballet. But the disadvantage was trying to transmit the musicality to the dancers and kind of finding our own musical strategy, so to speak. Ohio Contemporary Ballet is a company that has a lot of integrity with how they move, how they communicate, but also everyone is so steadfast in who they are. And this is one of the only places where I'm in an environment where everyone is so okay with radically being themselves. Afterwards, after Ohio Contemporary, I went to go to a bigger company, Dance Theatre of Harlem. After Dance Theatre of Harlem, I then got recruited to go to the National Ballet of Canada. So I went from 8-person company to 20-person company to 86-person company. All to then leave the ballet world because I realized that place with the 8-person company was actually giving more than that place with the 86-person company.